So I have an interactive question for you today. Do you hear better like this, or do you hear better when we don't use the mics? Do you think the headphones are completely ridiculous, or do you think it looks like everybody else doing podcasts these days? Like the video or dislike the video if you think this looks absolutely ridiculous. Like the video if you can hear well. Dislike the video if it doesn't hear any better. And comment below. Do you want to see folks podcast with obtusely large headphones, or do you just want to see people talk and pretend they're just talking to themselves? So today I wanted to talk about, and I have my notes written out so I don't stray off script, the concept of, what are we going to talk about? The concept of the musts in the business. I have several of them written down, and I've always found the best way to compose training in my experience is like the top 10, the top 5, the top 6. Maybe I don't always say it that way, but today I have the 10 musts of the business. And again, like, comment, and subscribe. Even if you don't like it, give me a thumbs down so you know that as well. I know that as well. So let's talk about the musts in life and in business. I'm also prefacing this conversation specifically for personal producers, not for builders, not for agency level folks. The musts of the business from the personal producer level. Number 10, I, or maybe we, or maybe you, let's just say I to keep it congruent today, I must have my family on my side. A supportive family allows you to do things that others really wouldn't be able to do. To work later, start earlier, travel, be more in-depth in your business, because again, you're not an employee. You must have your family on your side, and if you don't, have a sit-down conversation with them and just talk. This is what I want to do. This is where I want to go. This is what it'll look like if it all works. Will you be on my side? And guess what? Oftentimes they will be. They just need to better understand what you want out of your business. The 9th must of the business is I must be willing to do what others won't. Really? Yes. You must be willing to do what others aren't willing to do, and that's how you get a little bit further each and every day. You must be willing to get up early after staying up late to prepare the night before. You must be willing to stay out later into the field past that 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock hour that many others in the employee world have already gone home. You must be willing to make the time commitments necessary to run your business because you're not working for anybody else. Number 8, I must spend money to make money. I'm reading that off the paper on purpose so you hear it. You must be willing to spend money to make money. I said it in the other video and didn't realize I was going to put these two videos together, but you must be willing to invest in leads marketing in your business or it just isn't going to work. Is that really the case? I can't think of a single agent who said, I'm not going to get leads, I'm not going to buy leads, I'm going to skip leads, that doesn't start a 6-week to 6-month timer before they're out of the business. It's just a freaking must of the business. And if you can't afford it, Adam and I have talked about several ground and pound ways to get enough money to finally get on a lead order. Next, number 7 says, I must continue to learn and educate myself and teach others to grow along the way. What does that mean? That means if you start off in final expense, you got to learn to be competent in Medicare. You are competent in Medicare, why aren't you cross-selling final expense? You must be willing to learn and grow because if you're not, you'll start to die off in the business. You must be willing to keep up on your Con Ed so that the week before your license expires, you're not panicked and out of the field. You must know when your license expires so that you're not on the field without a license and then out of the business. Don't settle for getting stale. I love alliterations with words. I don't even know if that's the right way to describe it. Don't settle for getting stale. If you're continuing to educate yourself, continuing to learn and grow, you'll continue to keep this business fresh. Number 6, I must accept that there are struggles and continue to work forward. Really? Yes. There's going to be good days, bad days, and every day in between. If you're willing to work hard to make a high income, a high net worth individual, a high whatever you want to call it, you got to be willing to accept there's going to be struggles. And here's the thing. Most struggles are you versus you issues. Boy, that sucks to hear, doesn't it? I have to think about that on a pretty regular basis as well. Like, is the problem that I'm dealing with right now his problem, her problem, a carrier problem, a marketer problem? No, it's my problem. Like, what am I doing? What could I do better? What self-evaluation is necessary to correct the issue? You must accept the struggles, but accept that usually they're self-inflicted. Number 5, I must live within my means, budget my money, and be a good steward with my finances. We're going to stop there because we talked a lot about that in the last video. 4, I must be willing to get out of my own head. Enough of toxic excuses, poor justifications, carrying last week's struggles into this week. This video is going to go up over the weekend. I think it's going to go on YouTube on Sunday. Whatever happened last week is over. No matter how good, bad, or in between it was, it's done. Put it in the past, close the door, and prepare for next week. Take 30, 60, 90 minutes this Saturday or Sunday. Prepare for next week, and guess what will happen? You'll make more money. You must get out of your own head. Enough with the excuses. Enough with whatever justification you have for wherever you are now. Enough of what happened last week. Build on now and for the next day ahead. Here's the thing. If this was any other job, if you were an employee of anybody else, none of these excuses would be valid. You'd be expected to show up, work, you'd be told how much you were worth, when you could come in and when you could go home, and you would do that. You would settle for the comfortability of that job, except the comfortability is really control in disguise. Did you know that? The comfortability of a job that you're considering on going back to, that you're considering on never leaving, it's just a disguise. It's control keeping you from getting to your true potential. Number 3, I must celebrate the success of myself and others. Big wins and small wins, getting in a home, closing a sale, getting out the door. Celebrate the good, the bad, and all the ones in between. Why did I just say celebrate the bad? Because that meant you overcame it. You're not stuck in it. You're not living in it. In fact, maybe you even learn from it as well. Number 2, I must operate with urgency. It says it right there. You must operate with a sense of urgency each and every day in the field. Pretend that you don't have tomorrow. Pretend you don't have the day after that. Pretend you don't have next week or next month or any day but right now. Work hard, work diligently, and work like you don't have another day. And before you know it, that'll become a habit and a routine and a part of your life. And thankfully and hopefully you'll have another day. But if you work that hard, you'll be buying yourself the opportunity to continue forward in the business. Number 1, I must dig deep, refuse to go home empty-handed, refuse to go home early, refuse to start late, refuse to settle for excuses, refuse to stress about things you can't control, gas prices, next month's problems, politics, inflation, all those things that you have zero control over. I must refuse to let them in my head. Go to work, stay at work, and guess what will happen? When you work hard, good things will happen to you. Thanks for watching.